Hey there, gorgeous. Ever used a website or an app that just felt off? Maybe it was confusing to navigate or you couldn't find what you were looking for. That's where User-Centered Design or UCD comes in. It's all about putting people, your users, at the heart of every design decision. UCD is a design philosophy, a way of thinking about creating products and experiences that are easy, enjoyable, and effective for the people who actually use them. It's about understanding your users' needs, behaviors, and goals, and then designing solutions that meet those needs in a way that feels intuitive and delightful. Think of it like baking a cake for a friend. You wouldn't just throw in whatever ingredients you have on hand, right? You'd ask about their preferences, any allergies, and what kind of flavors they love. UCD is the same. It's about understanding your users and creating something amazing just for them. By putting users at the center of the design process, you can create products, services, and experiences that are not only usable, but also enjoyable, engaging, and truly meaningful. So how do we actually do this UCD thing? It all starts with getting to know your users inside and out. This is where research and discovery come in. This step is all about gathering as much information as you can about your target audience, their needs, their pain points, their behaviors, and their goals. Think of it like being a detective. You want to uncover all the clues that will help you create the perfect solution for your users. There are tons of ways to do this, from user interviews and surveys to analyzing website data and observing users in their natural environment. User interviews are like having a chat with your ideal customer. You get to ask them questions directly and really dig deep into their experiences and frustrations. Surveys are a great way to gather information from a larger group of people, while website analytics can give you insights into how people are currently interacting with your product or service. The key is to use a mix of methods to get a well-rounded understanding of your users and what makes them tick. Remember, the more you know about your users, the better equipped you'll be to design something truly amazing for them. Now that you've gathered all this juicy information about your users, it's time to roll up our sleeves and define the problem you're trying to solve. This step is all about analyzing your research data and identifying the key user needs and pain points that your design will address. This is where you connect the dots between what you've learned about your users and the specific challenges you want to help them overcome. Are they struggling to navigate your website? Are they frustrated with a particular feature? Are they looking for a more personalized experience? The goal here is to create a clear and concise problem statement that will guide your design decisions moving forward. This statement should be grounded in user research and focused on the user's perspective. For example, instead of saying we need to increase website traffic, a user-centered problem statement might be, users are having difficulty finding the information they need on our website, leading to frustration and lost sales. Remember, you're not just designing for design's sake. You're designing to solve a specific problem for real people. So take the time to define that problem clearly and make sure it's rooted in the needs of your users. This is where the fun really begins. Unleash your creativity and start brainstorming solutions. Generate ideas, explore concepts, and bring your vision to life. Sketch, create mood boards, build wireframes. Create prototypes to test and refine your ideas. Start simple and iterate quickly. Section 5, Step 4, Testing. Putting your designs to the test. You've done your research, defined the problem, and designed a killer solution. Now it's time to put your hard work to the test. User testing is a critical step in the UCD process because it allows you to gather feedback from real users and identify any usability issues before you launch your product or service. Think of it like a dress rehearsal for your website or app. You want to make sure everything is running smoothly and that your users can achieve their goals without any hiccups. There are many different ways to conduct user testing, from in-person usability testing to remote moderated or unmoderated testing. You can observe users as they interact with your prototype, ask them to complete specific tasks, and gather their feedback on their overall experience. The key is to choose a testing method that aligns with your goals, your budget, and your timeline. And remember, the goal of user testing isn't to prove that your design is perfect. It's to identify areas for improvement and make sure you're creating something that truly meets the needs of your users. Section 6, Step 5, Implementation, bringing your designs to life. Congratulations, gorgeous! You've made it to the implementation phase, which means it's time to bring your designs to life. This is where you take all the insights you've gathered from your research, testing, and iteration and translate them into a real, working product or service. This stage often involves collaborating with developers, engineers, and other stakeholders to ensure that your design is implemented correctly and that it meets all the necessary technical specifications. It's important to maintain open communication with your team throughout the implementation process to ensure that everyone is on the same page and that your vision is being realized. Implementation isn't just about coding and development, though. It's also about ensuring that your product or service is launched effectively and that your users have a smooth and positive experience from the get-go. This might involve developing marketing materials, creating user documentation, or providing training to your team. Remember, launching your product or service isn't the finish line. It's just the beginning of the next phase of the UCD process. Section 7, Step 6, Evaluation, Measuring Success and Gathering Feedback. You did it! You launched your amazing user-centered product or service into the world. But the work doesn't stop there. The final step in the UCD process is evaluation, where you measure the success of your design and gather feedback from your users to inform future iterations. Evaluation is all about understanding how well your design is performing, identifying any areas for improvement, and making sure you're continuing to meet the needs of your users. This might involve tracking key metrics like website traffic, conversion rates, or customer satisfaction scores. It's also important to gather qualitative feedback from your users through surveys, interviews, or feedback forms. This type of feedback can provide valuable insights into how people are actually using your product or service and what challenges they might be facing. Remember, UCD is an iterative process, which means it's an ongoing cycle of research, design, testing, and refinement. By continuously evaluating your design and gathering feedback from your users, you can ensure that your product or service stays relevant, engaging, and user-centered over time. Section 8. Real-world examples of user-centered design in action. Okay, let's bring this to life with some real-world examples. Think about Airbnb. They completely revolutionized the travel industry by putting the user at the center of their design. They focused on creating a seamless and trustworthy experience for both hosts and guests. They used real photos, detailed listings, and a secure platform to build confidence and community. Another great example is Spotify. They totally changed how we listen to music. By understanding user habits and preferences, they created personalized playlists and recommendations. This made discovering new music fun and easy, keeping users engaged and coming back for more. These companies are killing it because they get it. They understand that putting the user first leads to happy customers and ultimately, business success. As Section 9, the benefits of putting users at the heart of design. By now, you're probably getting the picture that UCD is kind of a big deal. And for good reason. When you put users at the heart of your design process, amazing things happen. First and foremost, you create products, services, and experiences that people actually want to use. This means happier customers, increased engagement, and higher conversion rates. And who doesn't love that? UCD can also save you time and money in the long run. By identifying and addressing usability issues early on, you can avoid costly redesigns and rework down the line. But it's not just about the bottom line. UCD is also about creating designs that are accessible, inclusive, and enjoyable for everyone. It's about making technology work for people, not the other way around. Section 10. The importance of continuous feedback and iteration. Here's the thing about UCD. It's not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process of listening, learning, and adapting. The world changes, technology evolves, and your users' needs will change over time. That's why it's so important to build feedback loops into your design process and to be open to iterating on your designs based on what you learn. Whether it's through user surveys, A/B testing, or simply paying attention to customer support inquiries, make it a habit to constantly seek out feedback and use it to make your designs even better. Remember, the most successful products and services are the ones that are constantly evolving and improving based on user feedback. So embrace the iterative nature of UCD and never stop listening to your users.